Maria Tallchief was a highly accomplished and influential ballerina whose unique style and athleticism transformed American ballet and allowed her to become the first American and first Native American prima ballerina. Born Elizabeth Marie Tallchief to an Osage Indian father and a Scotch-Irish mother in Oklahoma, she grew up dancing with her sister Marjorie, performing whenever she could, even if that meant performing stereotypical native-style dances for entertainment at the county fair. Her family moved to California to train the girls in Russian ballet technique, and at 17 years old, Maria moved to New York to begin her career with Ballet Russe de Monte Carlo and taking the name Maria Tallchief. Although starting in the corps de ballet, it was here she met the renowned choreographer George Balanchine in 1944. She became his muse, and he worked closely training her in his unique contemporary styling of classical ballet. Although challenging, she describes the experience as being transformational.
Shape, my figure, configuration, as if I had completely changed, you know? So it wasn't that but it wasn't just legs and feet, it was everything. It was and he was very careful about how you use your hands, what they call port de bras, how they move, the elbow, the shoulder, the soul of the dancer. He was a poet, and he taught us how to react and to become this poetry.
Tallchief's talent, athleticism, and motivation were the perfect pairing for Balanchine, and it opened many opportunities for her within the company, as she was constantly being challenged as a dancer. Balanchine continually cast Tallchief in important roles, and their relationship grew over the next 2 years, resulting in their marriage in 1946. That same year, they established the Ballet Society that would later become New York City Ballet. Under Balanchine's tutelage, Tallchief rose to the rank of featured soloist. They traveled and performed around the world, gaining global success and admiration from the audience, although Tallchief routinely faced discrimination amongst her peers. Despite this, however, she was an international sensation. Although the couple divorced in 1952, they continued to work closely together. Balanchine cast Tallchief for the role of Sugar Plum Fairy. Although The Nutcracker was a rather obscure ballet at the time, her performance and his choreography played a large part in the establishment of the ballet as a classic holiday tradition. He also developed the highly successful role of Firebird, specifically for Tallchief, which launched her to prima ballerina success.
And the curtain came down, and suddenly the city center sounded like a stadium after a football game, after somebody's made a touchdown. It was unbelievable. Screaming, yells of bravo, this and that, you know. And nobody had practiced any bows. We didn't know who was supposed to bow or when we were supposed to bow. There's a wonderful picture showing George and me coming out in front of the curtain at the very end to acknowledge the applause. And as Balanchine said many years later to my daughter when we danced it out here, when I danced it with our company out here, he said, you know, this was the first great success of the New York City Ballet. And your mother was wonderful in it.
The astounding success of the New York City Ballet resulted in media attention and televised performances, in addition to international invitations for guest performances.
Our ballet tonight is Caprice, created by our own choreographer, Robert Pageant, set to the delightful music of Giacomo Rossini. Interpreted by the world-renowned prima ballerina, lovely Maria Tallchief, handsome Oleg Tupin, and our own corps de ballet. Ladies and gentlemen, Caprice.
She retired from dancing in 1965 and began to teach the next generation of dancers in Balanchine technique. She remained active in the arts throughout her life, even helping her sister establish a ballet school in Chicago. Her native identity was always important to her. She insisted that she was not an American Indian ballerina, but rather a ballerina that happened to be native. She refused to change her name from Tallchief despite pressure, and used her platform to advocate for native rights. She remained proud of her heritage and active in her community. She was living proof of the relevance and capabilities of Native people, which directly contradicted the themes and rhetoric common in media and films at the time. Tallchief proves her mastery of the modern world and is the antithesis of the vanishing Indian. She died at age 88 with numerous awards and honors received throughout her life, but her legacy will forever live on and influence the dance and Native communities.